Hello, welcome back. So last night I did some off-stream work. Um, yeah, it's not all fixed yet, but I fixed a bunch of stuff that kind of flew over my head when I was streaming yesterday that I didn't catch. But yeah, the GUI stuff works now. I can probably demonstrate that right now. Just watch as it breaks as soon as I fire it up. You see that? I have a cookie. But, right, so what I'm trying to say is that you can see the cookie icon is actually there. Yeah, you see? Now, what is still currently broken is the actual process of eating the cookie. Well, technically, eating the cookie works. Like, if I press it, the character will eat the cookie. But the camera does something weird, and then it goes, then it goes back to normal. Let me show you. Right? So the character just ate the cookie, and it played the animation, but you couldn't see it because the camera is like spazzing out. I've got a bunch of error messages in the debug system, or in the console. But yeah, to kind of prove to you that the eat food process is working, I'm going to move to a place that has a fixed camera location. Like here. So I can eat this cookie, and you can see the character does the animation. There we go. Yeah, you saw that, right? So, what error? Look at from position. Node, origin, and target are in the same position. Look at failed. Yeah, clearly something is wrong with the camera. Or the camera's fine, and the inputs that I'm sending to the camera function are wrong in some way. Either way, we'll figure it out. Okay. Oops. I suspect this is the problem here. Oh, I see. These are null. So what I'm mousing over right now is I'm mousing over. Hold on, let me see something. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. So what I'm mousing over right now is on my protagonist character or node. I have these two node paths that are intended to be assigned to spatial nodes, which represent the position of the camera and where the camera looks at. And these are supposed to be active when some sort of when the player does like some sort of action that is intended to I'm not sure what words to use, but it's like, you know how in the Legend of Zelda games, when you like drink from a bottle, the camera moves in front of the player's face, I think, and then he drinks it, and the camera goes back to normal. I could be mistaken, but yeah, these are supposed to represent the location of the camera whenever that happens. And apparently they're not assigned. I'm not exactly sure why, but they definitely should be assigned. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. So I need to find where those nodes are, and then assign them. And that's pretty much it. Oh, I wonder if I deleted them. You know what? I think this whole approach is flawed. I think instead of hmm, hmm, instead of using a specific node, I should dynamically calculate the position where that position where the camera needs to be. So this protagonist hijack camera, yeah, that uses these nodes here. I don't want to use them anymore. But I still need to assign that position. I think I designed it in such a way that I could set either a spatial or a vector in 3D space. I could be wrong, but we'll see. I was right. Okay. It's just some misinputs there. That fingered the I'm not sure which key I pressed, but yeah. So It's not important. Okay, so the camera position should be actually, let's keep that there just in case. Sorry, I'm just checking my phone. Okay, I've done things like this before. Oh, hi, how's it going? So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to... How should I describe this? I'm trying to make it so that there's like a dynamic camera where like when the player eats something or does something, there's some sort of animation that's like kind of outside the gameplay. The camera kind of like hovers in front of his face as he like does it. Like if you eat like say you eat a cookie, the camera kind of goes in front of the player, and then he eats the cookie, and then that's it. I'm trying to get that set up. I had a system before, but it was flawed. It relied on specific static positions, but now I'm thinking of what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do something a bit more dynamic. If that makes sense. Okay, so I'm trying to think of what sort of approach to do this. I already know what I'm going to do. I'm just trying to figure it out. I see our programming. I'm a noob at Godot, so I just installed the engine, so I know nothing. Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I don't recommend going to me for programming advice because the thing is I'm using C sharp, which is like a it's a good language, but it's not ideal for beginners. I would recommend starting with GD script. It is it's pretty much just as good. It's just got different syntax, and you use like the built-in editor instead of what I'm using. What is this? What is this? All right. Anyways, I'm just gonna get back to work. Good luck on your journey, by the way. It's a lot of fun, in my opinion. It's a good hobby. If you happen to make something good, you could always make a little bit of money, possibly. I haven't made any money, by the way. This is kind of just for fun. Although admittedly, I do kind of want to like make money in the long term. Okay, anyways. So I would recommend what would you rate C sharp, C++, or GD script on a scale of 1 to 10? For Godot, I would give C sharp a 7, but I'm biased because I've used C sharp for a long time, even before using Godot. The language that I'm used to. Apparently, it runs really fast, but I've never been in a position where that would make a difference. At least I don't think so. C++, I have never used it before, so I can't really give you a scale of 1 to 10 rating. GD script, I barely use it, but the cool thing about GDScript is that it's specifically designed for this engine. So I'd probably give it like a 9. The only reason I don't give it a 10 is because there's a few little features in here that I find useful that I can use in C#. But that's just me being biased. For a noob, it's probably a 10. Definitely look up some tutorials if you can about little things. And the thing is, the more you use it, the easier the more you do it, the easier it gets. And after you watch tutorials, I would like try to add your own stuff on top of whatever it is that they teach you in the tutorials. Like, for example, I can't think of an example on the fly. But maybe if there's like a camera script, maybe some sort of function that affects the field of view. Oh, that's just for 3D games, but yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It's pretty much the cool thing about code is you can literally do whatever you want. All right, anyways, I'm gonna try to get back to doing what I was trying to do. Do you think Godot is for children? I'm only 12 and I'm into game development. People say it depends, but overall, what do you think? And you're 12? Well, you have lots of time to learn. Is Godot for children? That is an interesting question. I never really thought about that. Well, it's completely free. It's not that difficult to learn, but I mean, I'm a grown up, so it's and I have a bit of a background in writing code, so it's probably different for me. There's definitely a lot of stuff that you have to learn. Camera position, that should be. So this will be the. No, wait. So this is meant to represent where the camera is when the camera is hijacked. And this is meant to represent where the camera looks at. This is the player position. This is a little bit in front of the player. I sure hope this works. Depending on how good your computer is, you might be able to try Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine has this visual code editor that's you're not typing on a screen like this. You're like connecting. No, it's called Blueprints. I've never used it before because I've never barely touched Unreal Engine, but from what I've seen, it seems pretty interesting. It could be good for people who might be intimidated by code, like traditional code. It's one of those things where you kind of have to try it out. Although it kind of makes me a hypocrite because I never tried it. All right, I'm gonna test and see if this works. Okay. It works. The camera is not in the right position, but the theory of what I'm trying to do is correct. So I just need to add an offset. Oh yeah, there's a plugin for Godot 4 for Visual Script. People say it's easier. Oh yeah, there you go. I'm not using Godot 4, but the only only reason for that is because this is an old project and the process of updating the game to the new engine is a well, it's a process, and I'll probably do it eventually, but I'm gonna keep putting it off because it's hard. But yeah, definitely give it a shot. One thing that's important is it's more important to understand the logic behind what you're trying to do rather than like the syntax of code. And when I say syntax, I mean like the way it's structured. It varies between languages, but learning like logic is the part that's like the most important when it comes to writing code. Also, data structures are pretty important. Python and Lua. You ever written code before? I'm just wondering. Because if you have, that's definitely a good thing. If you've written in Python, GD script is probably right at home for you because it's very similar in terms of syntax. Not sure about Lua. I've actually touched Lua once. Not very often. I mean, not very long. No? Okay. I'm sure there's probably a tutorial somewhere out there that's like game development that's like centralized around game development and is like geared towards people who've never like written code before. I'm sure it has to exist somewhere on YouTube. But yeah, I'm glad to have you here. Always nice to have chatters. Okay. Hello, how's it going? Okay, that's a bit better. Fuse 4. I'm gonna have to look into that. Lua is a programming language or scripting language, whatever. Uh, it's kind of similar to, yeah, exactly, programming language. What I'm doing right now is I'm testing the camera hijack function when the player well, I'm testing it with cookies. I like this cookie icon here, and when the character eats it, the camera is supposed to kind of move into a position where you can see him eating it. Oh, whoops. Okay, let's try that again. Okay. Well, that kind of worked. I should probably make this like a thing that's like editable. Hold on a second. I'm not using these anymore, so I'm replacing them with different things. I'm gonna look up Fuse. I'm not sure what that is. I want to find out. Fuse 4. Huh. I've never seen this. That's interesting. Huh? Oh, okay. Build. Let's do. Let's do that. Okay, that was good. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. What is this? Where did this come from? I'm making my own scripting language in C# called Balloon. Here's the code. If you jump 5 seconds, the ground will be solid for 5 seconds. If you jump 5 times, the ground will be solid for 5 seconds. Oh, trying. Okay. Yeah, I only use C#. In hindsight, it probably wasn't the best decision, but it's a decision that I made early on, and right now it's easier for me to just stick with it. And I'm trying to figure out why this is getting printed to the console, because I'm not sure why it is. Oh, I know why this other thing is. Yeah, I did this yesterday, off stream. When I was testing the save file, I was my save file is like this. I'm using JSON save as like a file for the saving, and one of the items is a list, and I was testing to see the contents of that list, and that's this here. That was yeah, that was just a product of my testing, and I just erased it. Can you send us a demo of the game when done? Well, the plan is to finish the game and then release it in a few years. But yeah, it's a long process. I think there is technically a download on my Discord, but it's like 3 years old. Not even close to what I have now. Okay, so this should be gone. This 200. Oh yeah, by the way, that 200 corresponds to the equipped items. 2 is cookies, 0 is empty, and 0 is also empty. Do you play other game devs games on stream? Nope. This is the only thing I've ever streamed. That's the whole point of this channel. Just making this game. I need to figure out what this is being caused by. Did you make the models yourself? If so, you are a legendary game dev. Thank you very much. And yes, I did make this myself. The textures, not so much. Kind of yes and no. Depends on which one. And some of them are made of other textures that I kind of Photoshop together. Eat cookies. Okay. It's supposed to be a quantity counter here, but it's not working. You know what? I'll fix that next. Let's do that. I still have about 20 minutes left, so I should be able to... I'm not sure if I'll finish fixing that, but hopefully I will. Okay, control display. Wouldn't artificial intelligence speed all this up? Maybe I'm wrong. I've been programming for only 1 year. I honestly don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't put the cookies in the... Oh, we disconnected.